Reaching goals is hard. We start full of energy, but somewhere along the way we lose focus, we miss a day, but before we know it, the goal feels out of reach. I've been there too. That's why I decided to build something that will help not just for me, but for anyone who's trying to stay on track. Here is the problem. I don't know how to make apps like at all, but the cool thing about today's world is that with AI you can do literally anything. After doing some research, I found a bunch of AI tools to help me out, but honestly, the hardest part wasn't building an app, it was coming up with the idea. I spent a couple of days using productivity apps and decided to create a habit tracker. For me, the biggest downside was how overly complicated they felt, like nice UIs but too many features, it was just too much. And of course subscriptions, they were everywhere. Once I had a rough idea, I started designing the app. I used Figma to sketch out the screens and get clearer pictures of what I wanted. It doesn't have to be perfect at this stage, just enough to get started. So here is something I came up with for now, and we will have the home screen with habits list, also some daily trackers, and of course buttons for navigation to other pages such as calendar page with all the statistics, and of course page to edit your active habits. Now the best part of making an app is coding. I would better say prompting. I used Cursor AI, which really cool app to speed up development process, and it helped me a lot. I started by describing all my ideas to AI, and it gave me some great starting points. At first, it felt like magic, writing what I wanted and watching it turning into code, but of course things didn't always work smoothly. There are a lot of errors popping up while developing. I would fix one problem and then, like clockwork, something else would break. It felt like every step forward came with two steps back, and I kept going through testing and tweaking over and over again. When I just started, I thought that AI would do all the work for me, but turns out that not even close. Even as a web developer, building a mobile app was a whole new challenge. I spent hours reading documentation, fixing errors, and learning as I went. After a lot of work, I finally had a basic but functional version. It wasn't perfect, but it worked and I felt amazing. And this is the first version of the app. I'm really happy with it as I never did mobile apps in my life, so let's take a deeper look. So this is the home screen. You can already see a habits list, mark each habit as done, and you will see this really nice circle progress on the right. Also, really important part for me was streak functionality, so I added it, and basically almost every app has streak functionality, but for these apps, like tracking apps, you need to have them so user can actually feel that he have achieved something here. I'm still planning to add a lot of more functionalities like daily trackers, but also I'm trying to keep this app really minimalistic. Quick side note, while working on this project, I've been using a focus timer app called Win ADHD, created by Lucas. It's been a game changer for staying productive, and if we're talking about the productivity, this is definitely one of my top recommendations. It helped me to stay on track through this entire process. Next up was creating the app icon, and I'll be honest, this was a bit outside of my comfort zone. I'm not a designer at all, but I knew the icon was super important. It's the first thing people see and it has to stand out in the sea of hundreds of other apps. No pressure, right? My goal was to keep it minimalistic, just like the app itself. I wanted something clean, simple, and easy to recognize. I played around with shapes, colors, and layouts, trying to balance simplicity with something that would catch your eye. In some moments, I thought this might actually work, only to look at it again and realize that it wasn't quite there. It took a lot of experimenting and tweaking, but eventually I landed on the design that felt just right. After some hours of searching the right icon for the app, I decided to stay with this one, and this is how it looks like on the App Store and on the home screen. So let's pull it up to the final version of the app. And here it is, the stable version of the app. It is not finished yet, but I really like it. I have called it Stickos so you can stick to all your habits and plans, and let's have a deeper look. So on the home screen you can already see updated design, really nice gradient background, and as it is a winter season I decided to add snow falling animation. So on the very top you will see a day slider. Clicking on each day you will be redirected to statistic page when you can check how many habits have you marked as done today, and these pages are not really good designed, but I will work on them. So let's try to add a new habit. You will see two categories, health and bad habits. So let's, for example, choose no alcohol, and you will be able to choose duration, track on these days, so will be able to choose exact days when you want to track this habit, and custom notifications. Let's add it. So also you are able to click on each habit and choose habit settings, review current streak of this habit, and progress board. So nothing else, there are no any unnecessary functionalities, it is just minimalistic app. So that's my journey of building this app. It's been a wild ride, and while there is still a lot of to do, especially when it comes to polishing the design and refining the user experience, I've already started using it myself. And honestly, it feels different. There is something special about using an app you built from the ground up to help you to stay on track with your goals. It's far from perfect, but it's simple, it works, and it's already making a difference for me. Now I'm curious, what do you think? Should I keep working on this and make it publicly available? Would you use something like this to track your goals? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts.